About another crisis of a different kind. We'll be speaking to the CS on this issue in just a bit as well. It's more about the ARV standoff. This is the amount of money that's there, 2.1 billion shillings stuck at the port. That's why tonight the USAID Kenya government stalemate over antiretroviral treatment and other donated health supplies remains unresolved, with 1.2 million people living with HIV/AIDS unsure of what their future looks like in regards to management of their HIV status. Citizen TV is in possession of a letter from the Ministry of Health to USAID dated 19th of April 2021 that confirms that USAID is only keen on distributing the drugs through a US-based private company, Chemonics, and not using the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency, that's KEMSA, and other existing structures. And as Waiga Mwaura tells us, the ministry is now opting to distribute ARVs supplied under the Global Fund.
Kenyans living with HIV/AIDS breathed a temporary sigh of relief last week when it was announced that the Kenyan government had cleared the way for the distribution of 2.1 billion Kenya shillings worth of life-saving HIV/AIDS drugs donated by the US government that had been delayed at the port of Mombasa since January. But in a case of premature celebrations, a fresh controversy has emerged after USAID refused to release the consignment, demanding that a private US-based company, Chemonics International, be contracted to conduct the distribution before the drugs are released. This new twist came days after Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe announced to Parliament that the government had cleared all outstanding taxes for the commodities.
We have released the consignment that was there sent from the United States, the one that I referred to earlier, where there was an issue. What happened, and this also answers the question regarding the distribution of it, is that in a letter written to me, which is Annex 13 in the document that you have, the US government actually agreed that we use the system that we have been using in the past for distribution.
Citizen TV has learned that USAID will only release a few HIV-related commodities to the ministry. A letter from the ministry to USAID dated 19th April 2021 states that, and I quote, "We have been informed at the condition precedent, that is, the release of the already cleared antiretroviral drugs shall be subject to the government of Kenya accepting to contract Chemonics." This new development is contrary to the assurances presented to the PEPFAR coordinator during a meeting convened by the representatives of communities of people living with HIV held on the 14th of April 2021 with a view to resolve the ARV stalemate, end quote. The government says the situation of including Chemonics in the distribution chain required changes to multiple legal frameworks that are not within the purview of the Ministry of Health. This move jolted the government into action as they made an emergency arrangement with the Global Fund, another donor, to support the country with drugs for the next 3 months. Tomorrow, KEMSA is set to release ARVs worth 125 million Kenya shillings to cover 106,000 patients or those living with the virus in Kisumu County, as the government moves to preempt the spiraling crisis. Waiga Mwaura, Citizen TV.